Ready, clap?
Welcome to the Abode Abroad Project. And first episode today, it's actually very exciting because we had our first guest.
I'm very excited
Zoe.
to be here. Hello.
Yes. So how do you feel, Zoe? How do you feel?
I feel good. How do you feel, Eva?
Good. In this amazing place, actually, we're in Space Cubed, and it's such an incredible place.
I know, it's actually
like,
super cool in here,
yeah.
guys. Like, I was walking around and, like, there was calming, like, piano music, there was food, water. It smelled like candles. Honestly, it was like a dream
so
workplace. It was very cool, very cool.
So, Zoe, why are we here today? Who are you? Where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Well, I come from a lot of European countries originally. So my mum is, my mum's side is Portuguese, from Lisbon. But when my mum was born, they moved to France. So my other, like, aunts and uncles on my mum's side are all Portuguese, born in Portugal, but my mum was born in France. If you get my gist.
I get you.
So my mum speaks French and she speaks Portuguese as well. And my dad is from Ireland. He was born in Tyrol, which is near Galway, which is 6 hours away from Dublin. To the left. East, west, I don't really know directions.
Yeah.
And I was born in Ireland, in Tipperary, which is the north of Ireland. And I live in Australia. So, yeah,
That's so good.
that's my
Oh,
culture.
that's so good. I mean, we're both European girlies, you know.
For the win!
So, how is it like living in Australia?
It's good. I've got a lot of good friends here. I've got a good life. But it's very, very different from Europe.
Yeah.
It
It is actually. It is.
It's actually crazy. Like in Europe, in the supermarkets, especially France, there's a whole aisle just for yogurt and custards. And like, I'm not talking like a small IGA aisle. I'm talking like double the size of IGA's width. That's all yogurt.
It's like massive.
Double-sided, just
Oh
for
my
yogurt.
gosh. That's
It's
crazy.
honestly
Yeah.
freaking crazy. And the
That's
quality of
good.
the food is so much better.
Yeah.
It's actually like, you honestly, I lost a shit ton of weight when I went over there.
Yeah.
Don't get anyone. The bulk for the gains, but
But I think
yeah,
I think in Europe they have a lot of more food in the supermarkets.
so much
Like,
more food.
Yeah, when I go to
Yeah.
supermarkets here, it's just I need to search for what I want and I cannot even find it sometimes because I need to go to another supermarket to see if they have it there.
Yeah,
And it's so difficult just to find food
yeah.
here that
In
you like.
France, because I forgot to say this, but my mum's from Alsace, which is right smack bam in the middle of Germany and France. I'm locked in.
You get it.
I got it. And so Alsace was actually taken over by the Nazis in the Second World War.
Gosh.
Multiple times. Yeah, so if you
Wow.
walk on, like, the valley, we call it the valley. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
valley. If you walk through, you can see the bunkers for the, like, French soldiers and
Oh,
other
yeah.
people. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy. That's
And
cool.
There, you could sometimes, like, in the late 90s, you could find old, like, grenades that were used, like, the shells of them
Oh
in the
my
bunkers.
gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's actually really, really
Yeah,
interesting.
it's actually really cool.
So my mum used to play in the
Yeah.
bunkers.
Oh. It's like a normal thing in Europe, you know? You can,
It was a
like,
little
yeah.
bit, she was used to it. But anywho, that's where
Yeah.
they're from. But over there, the local supermarket, or like IGA, is called Super Rue.
Oh, yeah.
And in that place is quadruple the size of Woolies. It's so massive.
Oh my god.
And it's so organised as well, but there'll be a whole aisle of cheese and like wine, which is very
Oh, yeah.
stereotypical if you think about it.
If you think about it, it's like,
It's a bit stereotypical, but yeah, and I keep hitting the freaking microphone.
It's fine.
I'm
It's our first
sorry.
time. It's our
My
first time.
and I
Things
keep
like this
hitting it.
happen, to be honest.
But yeah, and they organise it very well, and there'll be like a whole aisle for like just yogurts and just custards and any yogurt you can think of, they got it, and it's about like €6 or €12, which is actually quite expensive. Inflation. But yeah, inflation's crazy.
Inflation. Yeah, it's actually really expensive in Spain. Like, more than here, I think.
But the quality
They
is
told
so
me.
much better.
Yeah.
Like anyone who wants to get like gains and bulk up, go to the gym and bulk up.
Bulk
Go
up,
to
bulk up.
Europe and go shopping and buy a shit ton
Oh my
of
gosh.
shizzle amount of food. Sorry, pardon my English.
It's fine,
And
it's fine.
You will honestly see the gains. Honestly, I went over there and I came back with abs.
With
Because
abs.
we didn't have a car, so I was literally walking
Oh my gosh.
20 kilometers
yes.
back and forth from the supermarket to my aunt's house.
Because whenever I go to Spain, I always walk everywhere.
We walk everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because everything's
Everything's so close.
Yeah,
No, but
exactly.
actually it is close because they have more places where people can walk to. Like from your house, there's like literally
Park, yeah.
5 supermarkets.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like everything,
Full
you know what I
restaurants,
mean?
I feel you.
Yeah. And it's really good. But yeah, whenever I go there, it's like I eat a lot.
Yeah, same.
A lot. It's like whenever I go there, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to eat. If I don't eat the food in there, I'm literally
Like, what's the
not
point in going
enjoying
if you don't
it.
eat the food?
Exactly. What
I
is the
feel you,
point?
I
What is the
feel you.
point? If you want to go to Europe, please eat the food.
Eat the
over there.
food. It's the best
Don't go
part.
to McDonald's, please.
Do not. I swear to God. If you spend, because it's expensive to go to Europe, right?
Yes,
so
it's so expensive.
If you go to Europe and you spend like let's say $1,000 on a ticket to go to Europe, okay? You take the Emirates flight, for example.
Yeah.
And you go to Europe and you spend all that money and all you eat is Macca's for the whole time. What are you doing
Oh
with your
my
life?
gosh, nah.
What are you doing, bro?
Not getting it right.
That's just disappointing.
It is.
Like negative aura.
Negative aura, guys.
Lost the aura,
It's
bro.
It's not good. But yeah. Let's
I feel
talk
you.
about a very big issue, actually. And I think us as migrants, we experience all the time. I think it's stereotypes.
Oh, I freaking hate the stereotypes. The
Like,
first thing
yeah.
you say when you tell them where you're from or where you're like originally from, right? And they go, oh, Paris? Have you ever been to Paris? Oh, oui, baguette. The first thing, bro, the first thing they say is that shit. Shizzle. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Like actually,
I hope
don't
like
worry.
no one gets offended with my language. It's not that bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I worse. Don't worry.
Yeah. I feel you. But yeah. The first thing they'll say is like, oh, France, like Paris. And it's like, it's ironic to me because Paris is literally like 6 hours or 7 hours in the opposite direction of where I'm from.
Yeah.
So
She
it's
lives like at the edge, right?
Alsace, so let's picture the map of, we should have pulled up the map of like France.
Yeah,
That
we
would
should
be
put
so
the map
cool.
of Europe like
So,
there, you
for
know?
example, over to either side, that's Paris,
Yeah.
okay? Now Alsace is all the way over here. And you're telling me, oh,
It's the
Paris,
other edge.
oui, baguette, like my brother in Christ. When I'm not even from there. Like, it's completely different atmosphere, vibe, food, people, completely different.
It is really different,
They're
yeah.
almost like different countries, to
Actually,
be honest.
it is.
It's so different.
To be honest.
And like, there are stereotypes of like Parisians being very like snobby, which is some of them are, but not like necessarily all
Yeah.
of them.
I've heard a lot about French being really mean.
And snobby and rude, yeah. That's
Yeah,
like
being
a big
rude and
one,
mean.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're not rude.
Yeah, not
You're
at
not
all.
rude, obviously. But yeah, I've heard a lot about that. Also that you guys eat wine and, well, drink wine and eat cheese.
Yeah, but cheese
What
is
do you
really
say?
good. That's
But it
actually-
is good,
We take that with pride.
Yeah.
Cheese is delicious. Like, I don't mind that stereotype.
Yeah, there's actually good stereotypes sometimes, you know?
Sometimes I don't really
Like
mind them,
stereotypes that, I don't know, that France is the city of love. I think that's a good
That's
stereotype.
actually a good stereotype.
I think
like,
that's...
There's a place
Yeah.
in Paris, because I went once, so that, because all the people that ask me, oh, you've been to Paris? And I've been like, no, and they've been like, oh, really? That's so weird. I did go once, so now I can say I've been.
Oh,
but I went,
there you go.
and we saw all the, like, touristic attractions, one could say. And we went to the little gate, I forget what it's called. And it has all
oh
the
yeah,
rocks.
it's like I forgot the name
Well,
too.
you know.
It was
But
yeah, I forgot the name,
problems.
but I get what you mean. It's like the gate of something. I don't
They
know.
did a
what it's
lot
called.
of them, and there's like
Yeah, I
padlocks,
don't
and
know.
couples put their little signatures, and they write a little heart, and they like click it on.
Yes, it's like wait,
It's like the bridge
the
as well.
bridge or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anywho,
Wait,
it's
they
all
put
along the rails in Paris. You'll see them all the time, if you go, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of that shit. But when I went over there, and it was a lot of couples. There was actually a couple that got like engaged right in front of me.
Really? Oh yes, I
Some
see a
man was
lot
like,
of these
will
in
you
there.
make me the happiest man on earth? And will you marry me? And she was like, oh my god, yes. And then I was with my mom, and we were looking around like, yeah, you slay. You go, girl.
Would you see it?
Yeah, right in front of me.
Oh my god.
Everyone
That's
was like,
so
everyone was like, yeah, allez les bleus. You know, that's a joke. Allez les bleus is the what's it called? The national soccer team in Mbappe. Yeah. So like whenever you go for that team, whenever the Paris group soccer team go on that team, you're like allez les bleus, because they're blue, obviously. If you can connect the dots, that's what I
Connect the
mean.
dots. Yeah. I
Anyway,
feel that.
how about you? What are some stereotypes
I
of
think-
Spanish people?
Yeah, I think it's stereotypes. It's just that they like other people from Australia, from anywhere basically, they always be like, "Oh, you eat nachos?" And I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
what do you mean eat nachos? That's from Mexico, girl. That's from Mexico.
Do you remember
Get it right.
Do you remember that girl Cleo?
Cleo?
No, Cleo.
Cleo. Wait.
Chloe. Do you remember who thought you were Mexican? Or was that, who was that?
Wait, who was that?
That was someone we knew thought that you were Mexican.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
A lot of
remember
people
that.
have said a lot of things.
I
Like,
remember someone was
yeah.
like, "Are you Mexican?" And you were like, "No, I'm Spanish." And they were like, "Really? You got a Mexican accent?" And you were like,
whoa, that like
"My
Mexican,
heart broke a little bit."
Mexican, Spanish, and Spain, like Spanish from Spain, it's so different.
So
Like
different,
actually so
yeah.
different. And they have other cultures and it's so different. I just don't get it why people, and they have like in different hemispheres. Like hold on a second there. Some geography over there. But
yeah, you need to work on
yeah.
your geography, yeah.
yeah, I've actually have been compared like to other countries. Like some people have said, "Oh, are you from Switzerland? Are you Swiss?" Or like they have also said like, "I thought you were Russian."
I remember that.
Russia? Yeah, you
I was
remember
like,
that?
that is wild. You do
Yeah.
not sound in the least bit Russian. to be
I
honest.
know. Yeah, I think it was this guy, right, in design.
Oh,
And-
I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember him.
And he was like, "Oh, I thought you were Russian. You had this like Russian accent. You sound like angry." And I'm like, "Oh,
You sound angry.
I sound angry when I speak."
Hold up, there was a little bit of racism there, I think, Bucko. That was a little bit
Whoa.
wrong. That was a little bit wrong.
But yeah, I think a lot of stereotypes come from
Misinformation?
misinformation.
you.
Also because they don't really know that country, so they just make that general.
Or like from like what they see on TV,
Yeah.
like based off that knowledge. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. And sometimes those ideas mix. So I think that's
They
why.
form beliefs and attitudes, psychology.
Mhm. Psychology. We got it from school, guys. That's
Yeah, the
super
one thing I
easy.
remember. Miss Finmore,
Yeah.
shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Miss Fimo. This
We
podcast.
love
with
you,
me.
Miss Finmore. We love you.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. But it can be quite frustrating sometimes because, like, especially those people, there are some people that when you talk about where you're from or, like, the languages you speak. If you don't know, I speak French as well. But now you do. Now they know. But, yeah, I'm fluent because my mom taught me. It was actually my first language. But, bilingual babe, as one could say.
Oh.
Ooh, I know. Anyway,
Oh my gosh,
whenever
yeah.
the people find out, they're like, "Oh, you're French? Bonjour." And it's like,
Like pitch silence.
pitch silence. The silence
Oh
is
my
loud.
gosh, it
This
is
silence
loud.
is
Yeah,
loud. I'm
sometimes
like,
it's
I
so
don't even know what to
loud.
say to that. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, what do I even say to that? Or people are like,
Yeah.
there was this one girl, I will never forget this one girl who was like, "Oh, you're French, I'm fluent in French." I got freaking excited. I got so
Yes.
excited. I was like, the first time I met someone who's my age and who could speak fluent French. So I just started to speak fluent French. I'm like, "Oh, comment ça va bien, j'aime tes cheveux, yada yada." This actually broke my heart. She was like, "Oh, all I know is bonjour." No, I'll let that marinate. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she couldn't even
I
pronounce
know.
that properly. That was the easiest word. I was
Yeah.
like, my girly pop. How could you do that to me?
Got some internet.
My soul
Yeah.
broke.
It's like, it's fine if you have that accent like me, right? If I speak English and I have that Spanish accent still, right?
Yeah.
But you can't say, "Oh yeah, I can fully speak French," and be like, and then you start talking and be like, "Oh no, I just know bonjour."
Like, she only said that because... So I don't look French in the slightest bit. Like, I'm pale, I've got freckles, I look more Irish than I look French, right? I do not look French at all. My brother, he looks very, very French.
He
Like, the
does.
splitting
though.
image
He
of my mum.
does.
People are always like, "Oh, you don't look French," you know? And, like, the amount of times that I've gone to France and spoken to people in French, and they were like, they spoke to me in English first, assuming I didn't speak French, and then I'd
Yeah.
speak to them in French, and be like, "Oh, oh snap." But they'd be, like, surprised, and, because I just don't look French. But if I was tan and, you know, looked like the stereotypical French person, the striped shirt, the beret, don't even get me started on berets. I freaking hate berets. But if
The
I
berets,
looked
wait,
like them,
isn't there a little hat?
the little hat with
The
the
hat
little thing
thing
on
with
the top.
yeah.
That, honestly, some people say it's a fashion statement, but that's
Yeah.
the only people who wear berets are non-French people. Non-authentic French people. Or tourists that go around with the little pink berets. That's
Okay.
my personal opinion, though. I just don't like them. But yeah, I feel you. If I looked like the stereotypical and sounded like the stereotypical French person going around like, oh, sorry, but what is your name? If I went around like that, people would think. But because I have an Australian accent and I'm pale as fuck, pale as freak, then people don't think I'm like where I'm from, you know? And until you know me, I suppose. But I don't really mind, to be honest. As long as you don't insult my people, you know?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, okay, to be honest, I always tell her this, but I always wanted to go to Paris. And my ideas is that I really want to go to Paris because she doesn't really like Paris.
I hate Paris, but that's my personal opinion.
But that's her personal opinion.
That's
but I really love Paris because I'm, city of love. I want to go there, you know.
Some stereotypes seem to
Some
form.
stereotypes. But either way, I really wanted to go see the Eiffel Tower, you know. Very stereotypical things that you would see when you go to
I actually have a photo of me and my brother in front of the Eiffel Tower if you want to see.
Yes, obviously.
Because we went, because like my parents were like, oh, this was ages ago, I'd say like 2 years ago, because we went to see my family, and they were like, oh, we'll go to Paris, you know, so that we could say that we went to Paris, and I was like, fair enough. And we went, and to be honest, it was disappointing. It was anticlimactic. It was 35 degrees, no aircon, humid as flip, right? We're walking around, we're doing our best, and I sound really spoiled here, but like I did not enjoy it. The tourist attractions were cool, but like it just wasn't my thing. I prefer the countryside, like proper French, you know?
Yeah.
That's
I'm really touristic person, to be honest. Yeah, I am. I like
the places that the locals go to, you know,
like
their restaurants.
I think
they're good places to go.
Actually, I think the restaurants are the best if they're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like if you go to another country, the worst looking restaurant you see is the best food they have. Actually,
true. Appearances can be very deceiving.
Yes, exactly.
I feel you. Yeah, like this. We went camping ages ago. We went to Kununurra, which is right smack bam in the middle of the Northern Territory and the Western Australia. And we were over there for some camping, some family bonding. And I can't find the freaking photo of me and my brother, but that's okay.
It's fine. We picture in our heads.
Yeah, you can picture it. But we went over there, and there was this restaurant in the middle of nowhere. It started with a D. I forget what it's called. I forgot. Past tense. It was in the middle of nowhere, and it had the best burgers I had ever, like, honestly, really good quality burgers and chips. That shit slapped.
Yeah.
That shit went hard, and you wouldn't think so because there was like a rundown roadhouse. But this place had the best burgers. Honest to God, would go back again. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Yeah. No. Like, I think that food is one of the biggest things as a migrant. Like, the impact of going from Spanish food or from European food to Australian food is a shock for me.
I know.
I think it was a shock, yeah.
But, to be honest, what really classifies as Australian food? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
because you don't really know. It's like fish and chips, but you can also have that in
that's in other countries as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose kangaroo is very Australian.
Kangaroo is very
Indigenous
Australian, I think.
Australian food,
Yeah, I think that's what
kangaroo slaps. It's also very good for you, very high
protein. It is good.
Very good food. We have that a lot. This is why I'm rich, you guys.
She got the muscles. She got the muscles.
It's all from kangaroo.
Yeah, I know. But I think stereotypes, being totally honest, there's positive ones, there's negative ones, but either way, it is very embarrassing. Like when they say, I don't know, I think stereotypes it happens to you if you're a migrant.
I think it happens to every single immigrant, real.
Yeah, because in my country, I wouldn't be told anything, okay?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be told, oh, paella? I'm like...
the eyebrows.
But you're from Spain too, like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I don't say that, but in here, you're told all the differences that are part of
all the variables that make you different.
Exactly. Like, if you're this little bit different from other people, they'll put
you in a little box and they'll put all the stereotypes of you from that culture right in that little box.
Exactly.
Because people love to make categories. They'll be like, oh, this is the stereotypical, like, Australian. These are the Indigenous Australians, Indigenous Aboriginal Australians. And then there's everyone who's not Australian but lives in Australia. Or, like, I guess we are Australian, but, like, ethnicity-wise, we're not, you know?
Exactly.
Like, blood-wise, I'm European. I'm from freaking everywhere. But where I live physically is Australia, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I take it as an insult when someone's like, when my mom's like, oh, you're Australian, I'm like, no diss to Australia, but, like, I'm not Australian.
We live in Australia, we cannot diss Australia.
Yeah, that's true, we can't diss Australia, we live here. Much love to our home country, though.
Love.
Wait, I need 2 fingers to do this.
Yeah.
But what can you do, I suppose, I guess?
I don't know what you can do with it.
Because I could go on rants and rants about how, like, what authentic French and, like, Portuguese and, like, Irish people are and who they are as, like, their culture and stuff. And go on a rant, and I could go on for days and days to people who don't understand or, like, aren't from that culture and have, like, stereotypes, formed beliefs in their head. But it wouldn't really do anything, because at the end of the day, they believe what they believe, you know?
Yeah.
All I can do is laugh. Ah, yes, baguettes. Oh, c'est trop marrant.
It's like, they don't really care if you tell them, oh, no, but it's not like that. They don't really care.
They don't give a singular flying fuck. They do not give a shit.
They actually don't.
But it matters to me, you know, because that's like...
But it can matter to other people, I
guess.
guess. Like, there's some people out there that they might be more open-minded than
the rest. Yeah, I suppose.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I get you.
Some people are really, like, passionate about learning about where you're from. Like, oh, teach me your language, teach me your ways.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
but I love those people, you know, those people that are like, oh, you're from, like, Europe? That's so cool.
Wait, shout out to those people.
Shout out to those people. Y'all honestly make my heart swoon, as one could say.
It's so nice when anyone tells me, oh, I want to, like, learn to speak Spanish. And my heart warms. It's so nice. It's like, please learn it. But it's so difficult to learn new languages.
When English is your first. I feel you. English is the hardest language to learn. You can diss me about it, you can fight me on it, but, like, it's the hardest language. Honest to God. Writing, grammar. Honestly, French is, like, I'm learning how to write in French at the moment, because I was taught how to speak it, listen to it, all the other ones except for writing, because I didn't really need it, you know? I can read it fine, but, like, writing is the grammar. Perfect tense, imperfect tense, reflexive verbs. Ugh. But yeah.
It's the same for Spanish, but I think the most difficult one, and I think this is just facts, it's just Chinese.
Yeah.
Chinese, it's just another world. Like, the way they...
Like Mandarin Chinese?
Mandarin Chinese.
Mandarin.
Yeah. There's even types of Chinese.
There's Cantonese, Mandarin. There's, like, another one I can't remember. There's another one, Cantonese. Hold on, let me search it up. Actually.
Yeah. There's so many.
We don't want to insult anyone.
Exactly, we don't want to insult.
More
because I love you, Jenny. Jenny is my Chinese friend.
We love Jenny. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's a lot. So we got Beijing dialect. These are all the dialects. We've got, okay, I'm going to butcher this. But we've got a lot. We've got a lot of dialects.
Yeah, we actually got a lot.
Standard and Thai Chinese. I definitely butchered that. I apologize if I insulted anyone. But there are a lot. There are 8 main dialects.
And I think it's such a difficult language. Like,
especially if, like, because the thing with European languages, the way you, like, the alphabet, like, the Japanese alphabet is crazy.
At least in European, I feel like, okay, they have, like,
they're all based the same Latin origin, basically. To be honest, yeah.
They come from Latin.
Yeah.
Which is...
So, like, if you speak Spanish, I can kind of get the gist about what you're going on. But if someone speaks Chinese to me, I'm like, reading body language at that point. I'm like, someone help me out.
Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah. But, oh well.
But I think it's quite cool learning about different cultures. Honestly, eating food from different countries is such a cool experience, especially if, like, someone's from that country and they're, like, telling you stuff and you're, like, eating their food and you're like, this is so interesting.
This is so interesting.
Like, honestly, I feel like a better person when someone teaches me, like, or, like, what's it called, corrects me on a mistake about a certain, like, culture, and they tell me, like, the correct way to, like, say something or pronounce something. Like, Jay told me how to say, what's it called? What's it called? The sport. Jesus Christ.
It's fine if you don't remember. I don't remember.
You know the sport my brother plays? What's it called? Okay, Muay Thai. It's pronounced Muay Thai. I was saying Mai Tai. Me and my brother have been saying Mai Tai. It's Muay Thai. She couldn't pronounce
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
I think so.
Oh, Muay Thai.
Yeah, but I've been saying Mai Tai.
Oh,
which is bad.
My type.
She like corrected me a few weeks ago, which I appreciated because now I can actually say it properly. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not just saying her culture. She's from Thailand. She's from Thai. She's from Thailand, which is really really cool. Honestly.
The English is not.
But yeah, she's such a cool person. But like, she corrected me, and I feel like a better person because now I know like a little bit more about her culture, and I can respect it better.
Yeah, it is so nice.
Not like, respect it better, but like understand it a bit more because like I'm obviously not from Thailand.
And I think I've learned a lot of more cultures being in Australia that I would have being in Spain. Because I think in Spain,
I agree, yes.
like, okay, you got other people coming, okay, from outside. But in Australia, there's just so many Asian people coming. Because Asia is like so close
it's like
that a lot of people come from there, right? And there's just so many different cultures. My whole English class, it's made up of people. Yeah.
Shout out to Koi and Jay.
Shout out to Koi and Jay. And
no, honestly, I've got so many people, so many friends from different countries. It's actually like really, really interesting. I've got a Spanish friend. I've got a Vietnamese friend. I've got a friend from Thailand, the Philippines. Freaking hell. Got one from Canada, China, Malaysia. Honestly, like the whole freaking world at this point. Norway, New Zealand. I'm just thinking about the people I talk to. Who else have we got? Can you think of anyone? Missing out? There's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot. But it's actually really, really interesting when they tell you stuff about their people and their culture.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's how you reduce stereotypes.
That is
knowing
how
the
you
different
reduce
cultures.
Yeah, by actually opening your mind and
actually
listening to other people speak about like their culture and their people. It's actually really, really interesting.
Yeah. And it's such an important thing to like knowing the other person more. So you know that there's more than just the culture and the stereotypes. There's more than just nationality, that there's a person behind.
There's an actual human there, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. Because when I came here, I was just known for being this Spanish girl. And I was like,
God, yeah.
Man, but I really want to know you, you know. It's just like, my English, when I first came to Australia, my English was so bad.
I remember.
Even worse than this, to be honest.
No, your English isn't that bad now.
It's a bit bad, but I think it's just because when I get nervous.
You just stumble on your words?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, oh, what I was going to say, I forgot now.
I do that too. But that's just like, I don't know, practice in itself.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I met you was year 7, if I'm correct. Year 7? Yeah, year 7. And your English was, it wasn't necessarily bad. It wasn't, no,
you can say it, you can say it.
It wasn't bad. It just took me like a little bit more patience to actually hear what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
But I've gotten very, very good at guessing the words she's trying to say sometimes. She'll be a word and one day you were like, cookies that aren't baked. And I was like, cookie dough. And you were like, yes. So I've gotten very good. I'm very proud of that, guessing the words.
I guess, but I think that's just me in every single language. Because sometimes in Spanish, I might be at my house with my parents. And I might be like, what was that? What was that? Like that square with like...
That thing, bro, that thing.
And I started doing this
one time she was like, she was trying to tell me like a flap, like a lid, and she was like, what's that thing? You know that thing with like and she was like showing me visual and auditory like images and stuff, and I was like, oh, you mean a flap? And she was like, yes, a flap.
Yeah, but I think that's mostly because in Spanish or mostly European cultures, we're very expressive with our hands and gestures.
I speak with my hands.
Exactly. Yeah. Like a lot of people here when I came, they actually pointed out how much gestures I made, and I was like, oh, it's so normal in there. It's like in Spanish, you see people and they're like making all these schools out with their hands.
It's like they're classy as well, you know.
Exactly, and I think it's more expressive. I really like that. To be honest,
I like making the way I communicate expressive, because then I feel like you get the attention of the person more if you're using your hands. If you're like making jokes as well and you're like using your hands and you're like yapping and your stuff like that, people actually listen to you more. But also I've noticed people who speak more than one language, like consisting of English, one could say. I feel like people when they're speaking, most people who only speak English, this is like not a stereotype of people who just speak one language. not trying to be that person. But normally they or sometimes they don't take the extra patience it takes to actually listen to what the person's trying to say. They just end up giving up or like ignoring them, which isn't necessarily their fault. But it's like only people who speak more than one language, I've noticed, know what it's like, and like I take that extra time to actually listen to what the person's saying and give them time to like express themselves instead of just being like yeah cool and like just glazing over them, you know.
Yeah.
Which I feel is just a little bit like sad, to be honest. Like if you're speaking, I know that like your English isn't gonna be freaking perfect. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really care because all I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to do is listen to what you're trying to say. You know.
Exactly.
I don't care if you got an accent. I don't care if it takes you like 4 tries to get the sentence right. I don't
4
give a
years.
shit. No, not that long. But
You don't like that.
I'm interested in what you're saying, and that's what's important. You know, listening to what the person's saying, because then they actually feel heard. Oop, I keep touching the thing. But then they feel heard, you know, and seen, and it feels better for like both parties. Because then you have more conversation, there's more flow instead of just like icing them out. You know, when you don't understand, you know.
Yeah, and mostly, I feel sometimes bad for the people who come from other countries, and their first language is not English, right? And it's so hard for them to be themselves sometimes. Because how can you be them yourself, trying to explain yourself to other people when you don't really know how to explain yourself in
or you
their
don't
language.
know the right words or the
exactly.
right
It's like
yeah
you want to say something that this word that it's in your language, but you don't know
if you don't know what it's like in
English. It's like
it's the most
it's
frustrating
a whole thing.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating, and I feel like those people, it's so hard to make friends because of that sometimes.
Yeah, and then you feel kind of isolated. I can imagine it can feel quite isolating to be like on your own. But then I've noticed like those people who struggle with like making friends with learning a language, a new language, right? Like they move to a new place and they're trying to learn the language and make friends. Once they find other people who are in a similar situation or like speak the same language, which is like top tier, to be honest. When you find this person who speaks the same language as you and you both can't speak English.
It is so fun.
Because then you can talk to them in that language and you can be yourself, and then you actually feel like you're there, you know, you're existing.
And mostly here, because in here there's not many European people. Like
not
students.
At all. Yeah, not at all.
Students who come from Europe, there's not much.
I already know you.
Yeah, basically, I don't know
I already know her. I don't know anyone else apart from my brother.
Your brother.
Most people are from like New Zealand or originally from like Britain and those kind of places. Most people aren't really from European countries because most people who live in Europe don't really leave Europe. They go to like a different country, I suppose, but like they wouldn't actually leave that kind of area. One could say. They don't really go all the way to the other side of the world, go to Australia and be like, oh, surfing.
Well, guys, and mostly because it's so expensive from Europe to here.
It's very
so expensive.
Yeah, especially if you're moving all your stuff as well.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. Well,
should we wrap it up?
Yeah. It was amazing talking to you. It
I
was
had
really
so much
fun.
talking to you.
It was so much fun.
I hope y'all learned some stuff.
Yeah, I hope this was helpful to somebody out there. And
I hope you learned some stuff about us that you didn't know before.
Yeah. Love.
Should we say bye in French and Spanish?
Should we? Okay.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Adios. Welcome again. Well, for the first time, actually. That was so much.
It's fine. We can have some joy in the podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. I will cut this off, okay? Let's do it again.
Stop laughing, you're serious. Okay, we'll go again.
Okay.
Why are you laughing so hard?
I don't know. Okay, now.
You're crying. Okay, now. Okay. 3, 2, tears in your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Why did you look at me like that? You like
Yeah, let's go. Because we're not gonna stop, bro.
It's so dirty.
Okay.
Out. Oh, fuck.
Okay. 1,
2, 3.
2, 3.